Richard Nagell is a real guy, and Richard Nagell is the guy who was allegedly supposed to kill Harvey Lee Oswald before Oswald killed John F. Kennedy.
Life's a trip when you're begging to live. You wanna give 110, they want you to give in. I hate sin, don't pretend that I'm better than men. Done a lot of bad things that I'll never forget. Every day I wear scars, didn't learn from the burns. Didn't think of giving up when it wasn't my turn. Every time I fall down, face first in the ground, I see another false flag and a king uncrowned who got played by their bosses. Stabbed with a lie, left Laredo in the cold so the president dies. Wanna play these spy games, but you won't.
Laredo in the cold so the president dies. That's a real line there, because that's how Richard Nagell felt, according to what he told Dick Russell. If true, Richard Nagell's story is the missing link in the JFK mystery. A lot of people want to blame Lyndon Johnson, or even the newest one that I've heard, Jackie Kennedy. I don't believe it was Jackie Kennedy, because I don't believe she would be a good shot. And I also don't believe that they would trust something like that with her. I just don't see it. And it's just too risky, because there's too many people out there. So I've never bought that. I don't believe that. The grassy knoll is the key. The grassy knoll, the hobos, where George Bush was, where Richard Nixon was, where E. Howard Hunt was, the hobos. I think there's a lot of solid leads that we can follow, and Jim Garrison did a great job at just collecting everything. He was like the old school database, and it was just like everything that Jim Garrison was doing to try to prove that Clay Shaw was involved in the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Everything that Jim Garrison found went into a big database that is mostly public knowledge too. So, and what wasn't public knowledge, he was able to find out and tell us it's not public knowledge. So, we got a lot of good information from Jim Garrison. So, I would believe Jim Garrison would be one of the other key factors in the JFK mystery, because it is a mystery. Until we cannot, even if we got a court case that proved something, you can prove that people are part of the conspiracy, but how are you ever going to prove that someone is guilty of killing John F. Kennedy? It's going to be hard. So I think the key was that if he could have proved that Clay Shaw was part of a conspiracy, and I believe that Jim Garrison did prove it in the court of public opinion, he proved it. In the court of public law, no, Jim Garrison did not prove that Clay Shaw was part of a conspiracy to kill John F. Kennedy. But the evidence was there. It was solid. And that's why the people can see that once they're able to examine the evidence in a very easy way. So you have a big database that needs to be put into a simplistic form, and I've been working on that with a book called The False Flag, which will have a huge chapter on the JFK mystery, including some of the reasons why people wanted to kill John F. Kennedy, and including a lot of what happened on the day that John F. Kennedy was killed, November 22nd, 1963.
Rebel from the system like Lenin. Rebel from the system like Lenin. I wasn't paid no commission, communicating my vision. No, this ain't superstition. Wish I could say it was fiction. This ain't the way it was written. I always pray for a difference. They cut me down, but I've risen the definition of living. And I can't be no robot. They think, but I think not. Who shot Pac? Was it a co-op? I sit and stare at these ink blots. What's reality anyways? Reality shows.
And that is featuring Zion, Eric Galoo, and also Shauna Darling. This song was kind of about John Lennon. It was about assassinations and how the Tupac questions still plague us to this day. There's still the theory that he's going to come back in 2014. The song doesn't go into that, but Zyme has one line about that, about Tupac. Was it a co-op? They shot Tupac. I sit and stare at these ink blots. But anyways, his verse is amazing. So I think Like Lennon has one of Zyme's best verses on it that I've heard, and he just gets better and better. And then Eric, oh man, I think Eric literally had 1 hour, 2 hours. He came in, didn't get to hear anything. We did about 4 or 5 tracks of him with the viola, and he was plucking the electric viola too, and he was doing a little plucking on it, and we did 4 or 5 takes. Dublin took the best of those, what he thought were the best of those 4 or 5 takes, put them into the background, and throughout the whole song of Like Lennon, you will hear Eric's viola, and it's just freestyle. It's all freestyle stuff. There's no plan or no anything to it. The only plan is to freestyle and let loose. So Zyme's verse is like, I wasn't paid no commission communicating my vision. I love that. Of course, there is the one where he's like, what does he say? And Ronald Reagan is Satan. And I asked him about that. I was like, what is this? Ronald Reagan is Satan. And he's just like, oh, I was just kidding around. Somebody asked. It's like, oh, you're just kidding around. Oh man, people are gonna ask about that. But it's real, you know. And so, I'm not convinced Ronald Reagan is Satan, but I think I understand what he's talking about when he says Ronald Reagan is not a very nice guy. Is probably what he really means if you asked him. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. The chorus was the problem with Like Lennon, and I just wasn't really happy with anything that I could come up with. And so it was just, the question became, well, maybe we don't need a chorus. Eric has done so many viola tracks, we could pick a few of those, pick some of that, and make that the chorus, which I always love. And so that's partially in there. Partially the chorus is partially his viola, and you will notice that if you pay attention. Shauna just kind of came in and added that special quality that was kind of missing in the song. Because Shauna has this beautiful rhythm that she does, that she can follow. And I can usually do it for her once, you know, rebel from the system like Lennon. Rebel from the system like Lennon. And she can just pick it up and just smooth it out. And I think she did a great
Never
job.
knew about the people that died while inside on the front lines, look in their eyes. They want to cry, want to tell you the truth, want to tell you about the system, but it's too late to do. Not for you and not for me to imagine. All we ever needed was a driving passion. I believe that we can do anything, but if we never find love, then we won't find peace. We see drones flying high in the sky like drive-bys in the skies, knowing no one's surprised. They never look because they don't want to see how many people need the help when they die in the streets. Dying in Syria and all over the globe. Dying in Libya and Egypt and parts unknowns. Dying for wars by some unnamed foes. Agenda 21, they don't want you to know. They don't give away happy days.
Track number 3 is Happy Days, and this will always have a special meaning for me because Happy Days ended up being produced and engineered by my little brother, which was amazing. J.R.J. London. Like Anthony London, my other brother, but this was our younger brother. This was the baby of the bunch. J.R.J. London got the opportunity to produce and engineer his first song, which was Happy Days, and it came out great. I love it. Everything with that song should have went wrong. You have a guy who's never done it before, doing it for the first time, who is recording your song that you just memorized. Not even memorized. I didn't even memorize this song. Happy Days is so old school for me because it is one of the rare times that I did not memorize the complete song by the time that I went into the studio to record it. Now, flashback to something like Stereotypes by Muggsy, and you can see pretty much all of those songs that I did is me literally reading off of a piece of paper. And now I don't have to read off a piece of paper, I can read off of my phone, but it's pretty much the same thing. I'm reading off of a script instead of having it memorized and then letting it flow through me. So Happy Days was also for a contest that I put in, and it didn't win, didn't place, but that it's not going to stop me. I didn't win, I didn't place at the Castro Valley Talent Show, and I kept doing it. So, because it's not about the reward that others give you, it's about the reward that you get from making something good, from making something special, from making something that means something to you, first and foremost. Making something for someone else who's paying you is not a hard thing to do, because they're paying you for their idea most of the time. Getting paid for your own idea is always the goal, always. Sure. But getting the music out because of the good content should be the number one goal. Should be the goal that is sought over any other goal. Would you sacrifice your morals and your views and your truth for money? Because if you would, then this music business has a big place for you. If you wouldn't, there is an even greater place for you. Just keep going. Never stop, no matter what. They cannot stop you. The only thing that will stop you from making music is you. They will hurt you, and they will put you down, and they will be envious, and they will be jealous. Don't let it stop you. Build that thick skin and keep on going. Learn from everything that you do wrong, because sometimes they're not really breaking you down, they're helping you. They're trying to get you to see the music from a different point of view, and that's what I've recently done, working with my friend Zen Hao. He is a guy who is very honest, brutally honest, and that's what I need. That's what I want, man. I want people to be honest with me, tell me what they like about my music, but also tell me what they don't like. I can listen to my music now and pick apart almost everything. There's something wrong in just about every song that I've made. I can find that thing, even though I've worked endless hours and countless days on these songs, on these lyrics, getting the verses right. It's not until you go into the studio and record it that you actually hear it, and you actually hear what you like and what you don't like. Now, the problem with that is you want to go into the studio and have everything ready. You don't want to go in there and hear yourself and then say, ooh, I don't like the way that that sounds. I've done that many times, and I still find myself doing that. So you got to have a backup plan. You have to be ready. What are you going to do if you go into the studio and record a chorus, and then you listen to it and you don't like it? Well, you better have a backup. You better have a second chorus. Or what you could do, and what I encourage everybody in this age, because we can almost do it now, is record it in a home version first. This is what I used to do with Dublin when I had my little 8-track mixer. I would get the beat, I would have my lyrics, I would record them right here, right in this place, in Castro Valley, California, and I would record them onto my 8-track mixer, and then I would listen to it. And as I'm recording it, I'm able to make those changes and record them right there and take note for later on. And then by the time I go into the studio, I can give Dublin Beats that version, and then he gets a brief idea of how everything should sound, and he can hear if he thinks that I'm saying something that doesn't sound right. Then that gets him thinking about, okay, how can I get what he's saying to sound right? Because the lyrics are solid. I do believe my lyrics are some of the most solid lyrics out there. And I'm not trying to be brash or anything, but that's what I truly think. And so I'm not gonna tell you that, because I don't need to tell you that. I know it. So I don't need to go around and tell everyone, oh, I'm this, I'm that, whatever. I already know it. And all that matters to me is what God knows. And everybody's flawed. Everybody has their faults. Everybody has their weak points. but I do believe in what I'm saying. I believe in the music that I'm making. I believe in the lyrics that I'm writing. I believe it all because it's all true. It's all true. It's all true. Just to wrap up about Happy Days. Happy Days, because it was produced by my little brother, it does have a special meaning in my heart. And I do believe it is a great song and one of my best songs too. And it does feel real, and it is something that I'm looking forward to doing live because it's a easy live song. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I appreciate my little brother J.R.J. London for coming out, and all he planned on doing was spending the day with his older brother. That's it. He had no idea that he was going to go in there and record a song for the first time in his life. So, just never know. Got to be ready for anything, I guess.
Maybe I'll never have $1,000,000, what's $1 anyway? Nothing ever could compare to smiles I see upon your face. Once upon a time I told a lie and made you cry, cause I didn't love myself and had a feeling I would die. Now I know the reason why, but I don't know why I took it out on you. I wasted so much time cause I didn't know the truth. Didn't know if I could love you, didn't know how I could show you that I would sacrifice to spread a little love and bring it back. Never liked my older rap, in fact I think you called it crap. Today we call it being fake. In the past it's feeling great. It was never building the love to save the children from ugly words and grammar that compete with MC Hammer. And I found it was a scam like Iraq and Vietnam. I was hollow on the surface, a man without a purpose. Now I'm waking up so I can be what I was meant to be. A man who's gonna keep the truth alive for all eternity. Feels like the whole world.
Track number 4, Waking Up. We talk a lot about we feel like the world is waking up, or we feel like everyone's sleeping at different times in different people's lives. They wake up to different things at different times in people's lives. They ignore things, and ignoring things, turning your back away from things, not paying attention to things can be construed as sleeping. So it's not good to go around saying I'm awake, or are you awake, or that guy's not awake, or that lady's not awake, they're not awake, they don't know what's going on. That's never a good thing. We do it because we're humans, but we have to recognize that we should try to stop doing that. We shouldn't be doing that because it's not really helping. All it's doing is hardening other people's hearts and making them want to distance themselves further away from the people who are trying to really help them. And I do believe many people say, oh, you're just not awake, you're not seeing it. They're generally trying to help that person see something very bad that is coming for them, but it's all about how we do it, and it's all about recognizing who that person is, how they're going to take it, and when to stop, when to say, okay, we're having a disagreement here, we're not seeing eye to eye, we have to stop this. Hopefully you can stop it and continue the conversation on a different day. For me, it is recognizing that 9/11 was an inside job. That's the first step, I believe. If you can start there, if you can understand that and understand what happened with John F. Kennedy, I think that's a really good basis. It's a really good start, because if they can do those two things, then you can branch out from there and see, well, what else could they do? So, I'm still waking up. I still feel like I'm waking up. But the one thing that I know is true is that the Bible is real, the Bible is the truth, and that Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. For me, it's very simple. Track number 5, Cruel. The world is cruel. This is a short 2-verse song with music by Alex Yakovlev, and I appreciate all of the songs, all of the music that he's given me and allowed me to write to for free, basically, because we're not doing this for money, especially not right now. Yeah. But yeah, he gave me a ton of beats, and I was able to make a lot of songs from them that will be on the PDR album, two of which I used with Zen now, and they're just really great music. Him and his brother, they both have a lot of talent, so they just need to keep on going. Just keep doing it, man. The more you do it, the better you get. Cruel was just me saying, I don't know what I can do, but just keep fighting for truth, because I want to save this world for you. And it's a very simple, easy song, and I don't know, I feel like it came out a little scratchy maybe, my voice, maybe there might have been something. Sometimes I get a stuffy nose, so it comes off a little nasally, some of my lyrics sometimes, I think. But I'm proud of that song. I'm proud of the content. I know that I can do it live. I'm looking forward to doing it live too. But it was one of those songs where I felt like the verses were a little rushed. Maybe I needed to be a little more relaxed with that. But that's also that old hip hop style that I'm used to, that I really like, where it's just da 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 da, you know. So I don't know. I still go back and forth on that song, and that's what's really cruel about it. I'm not sure if I like it or not. And I had fun making it. I think it turned out well.
I know the world is cruel, but what can I do? What can a poor man do to save this world for you? Tell me, what can I do? 'Cause I don't know what to do, but stand and fight for truth. Doing what I can do. Look at what's around you. Look at how I found you in another bad mood. How do I be happy when I have from what is happening? I feel it in my soul. Something missing when I'm rapping. Thinking anything can happen, so I better be sure. Anyone could always hear it, so I better be pure. Is it better to be real or to be in the store? Is it better to find peace or find peace in the war? I go to bed late, I hesitate. I'm waking up early to find me tossing on and turning with a headache that's burning. In the shadows, in the covers, when it's quiet, I wonder, is there a plot to kill the world if we're all in a slumber? Do I hear another creeping noise, or am I just paranoid? Wonder what we're fighting for, dying in all these wars. Do anything and say that we're got nothing to lose except being a fool. The world is cruel. What can I do? What can a poor man do to save this world for you? Tell me, what can I do? 'Cause I don't know what to do, but stand and fight. Maybe I don't know for sure, but I know for sure to keep trying. No reason to give up until the day when I'll be dying. Lost in every rhyme like I'm jumping the shark. You got a shot around the world, I got a shot in the dark. I'm missing targets and my arguments, it wasn't my fault. Let my ego get the best of me again and I lost. I'm talking loud, look around, everybody is quiet. Gotta learn how to be humble when I'm trapped in a riot. I want the people to be free, not be messed up like me. Hate to watch another bleed, so another succeed. I shouldn't hate, I can't be selfish, but I know that I'm human. Always looking at my past, wonder what was I doing? What was I thinking? Wonder what was I drinking? Wonder why I was angry, why I hate the ones who love me. Do anything and say that we got nothing to lose except being a fool. The world is cruel, but what can I do? What can a poor man do to save this world for you? Tell me, what can I do? 'Cause I don't know what to do, but stand and fight for truth. But stand and fight for truth. But stand and fight for truth. What can a poor man do? But stand and fight for truth.
What if you could make a song that could be playable in front of people ages 1 to 101? And you can. I know you can, because I've done it. It's like, if you could make a whole album without cussing, why not? Why not try it? Why not do it? I'm just blessed to work with these great artists. Everyone who worked on this project with me, and everyone who worked on the PDR project too. I've just been blessed to work with the greatest artists ever. And I'm just looking forward to it, because we're just getting started. This is all just this is just the beginning. I can promise you that. If you could start with a good content, then you got something special there. So there it is. Mind, Body, Soul, Volume 2, Richard Nagell, produced by Dublin Beats. Awesome album. I recommend it to anybody. And if you are in a spot where you would like to have a full version of this album, but you don't have money, then send me a message and I will make sure that you get a free copy, because it's just a digital version. Digital versions don't cost me anything. To make a actual CD and all that with the cover and the poly wrap too, hey, even a nice little barcode too. That does cost money, but it doesn't cost me anything to give you a digital version. So if you want them, I've got them. I've had other people who have said, hey man, I'd love to buy this, I'd love to play this, have this in my playlist, but I'm broke, I can't afford it. And okay, well, here's your free copy. Like I said, the message has to be real, it has to be important, and it has to be something that's worth giving for free. It's a small sacrifice, very small sacrifice. It's worth it. Thank you.